All right, so glad to know that you're still there with us on this morning on ITV. We'll quickly take you straight into our talking point. You know, from the beginning, I actually told you that this morning we'll be joined by some beautiful guests, and together we'll be looking at how to eradicate female circumcision. Well, this is a critical topic and very sensitive one at that. Personally, I wouldn't want to be the one anchoring this segment, all right? It has to do with the other gender, but it's okay. It's going to be a privilege hearing first-hand information and, of course, enlightenment from this guest. And from my immediate left is Violet Olumese. She's the chairperson, FIDA, Edo State Chapter. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Thank you so much. Glad to be here.
All right, it's a pleasure having you. And, of course, sitting very close to her is someone that is not too far from this show. She has been here a couple of time ago. She's the person of Elizabeth Iyamojo. She's the secretary, Disciplinary Committee, FIDA, Edo State Chapter. Glad to have you.
Good morning. It's nice to be here.
Oh, Dr. Elizabeth
Iyamo.
I beg your pardon. I hope this is not a contempt of court, and I'm not going to be serving any suit.
No. That's okay.
It's okay. I'm sure you're going to temper justice with mercy.
Yeah, we are fine.
Well, they are all legal practitioners, and of course, from my extreme left is Praise Anselm. She's a civil activist, and of course, someone that has passion for the girl child. So quickly, we are going to be starting the conversation. Let me just start with you, a chairperson. Female and genital mutilation, FGM. In other words, female circumcision. What is it all about? Wherefore, the common Nigerian watching us this morning, let's just quickly just have a preamble of it before we dive straight into the discussion.
Thank you so much. You know, female genital mutilation is into two words. You know, mutilating and circumcision.
Okay.
Circumcision is the removal of the clitoris of a female sex organs. The mutilation is when you cut, you damage, you know, that part. That's part of the female.
So it's a two thing now.
Yeah, it's like a two thing because in our states, particularly the Beninese, they do circumcision early, maybe 8 days old or 10 days old for females in Benin. But I'm sure other tribes, they do it when they are older. Most of us, we hardly know we were circumcised until later on. So
removing of the cleats and some other vital...
You know, the clitoris is like the part that's inside
the powerhouse.
The powerhouse.
The
powerhouse.
Powerhouse.
Yes. Just like the man.
Okay, just like the man.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so the clit is okay. I'm getting to. Yes. I will be enlightened after this discussion this morning. So I wouldn't want to say much again. The way Dr. Elizabeth is staring at me, before I will now go and say something, and Ogad at the top will now come and tell me, no, you shouldn't have said it like that. So why is it practiced in our community?
Awesome. Thank you for that question. The reason why female genital mutilation is practiced is a gender thing. It developed because supposedly they want to limit promiscuity in the female.
Okay.
So they believe that when they cut the clitoris, which is the powerhouse of the female, she is no longer excited. She's no longer anxious. She's no longer interested in having sex. So she would no longer be jumping from man to man. She won't want to enjoy
that is the whole idea.
That's the whole idea behind circumcision, female genital mutilation.
Okay.
Sadly, that is not the true position of things. Yes. Instead, the reverse is the case, because when you cut the powerhouse, so to say, the clitoris, because what we do is either a partial cut or a total cut entirely. When you do it, and everybody knows it's trite that sex is for enjoyment and for procreation. And then you now have a relationship with somebody, you have sex with the person, you feel absolutely nothing. And then some men start to complain that I was having sex with the woman, she just lie down like wood. Why would she not lie down like wood when you have removed the part that makes her feel anything and then respond to you? She doesn't feel anything, so why would she respond to you?
It's like you're wasting your time.
You understand? And then that woman, after the effort, she feels like, I was supposed to enjoy this thing. I didn't enjoy this thing. Meaning this man does not know how to do it. And so she wants to look for another man to do it so that she will enjoy it. And then she asks you, okay, she knows, she hears about, things are online these days. And she says, okay, maybe it's because he didn't do oral sex. He didn't go down on me. That's why I didn't feel it. And now the man is a traditional man. He cannot go down on her. She starts to look for the man that will go down on her. Sure, you have invariably caused wahala. Instead of making the woman...
Trying to solve a problem.
Yes, you
have
now
created more problems.
Yes. So, female genital mutilation was initially, it was developed by men to stop the woman from enjoying sex.
Oh, really?
And at the end of the day, so that she doesn't seek it. At the end of the day, it's a vicious circle.
Now, I will pause you and come back again. You say it was developed by men.
Yes. Yes, by men.
Okay.
Historically,
okay,
men have always had the pride of place. Where the primogeniture rule, family in place. Laws are made by men for women. Women do not have powers. Okay. They do not have a say. Men decree, women follow. It's as old as time. Women have never had that say. Yes, we begin to speak out, but from time, so at the end of the day, you find that if you trace back, men developed that story. If you go back to the Bible and ask and think, say, okay, circumcision came from the Bible. The Bible only talked about circumcision of men. It didn't talk about circumcision of women.
So
but the man decided, why should the man alone be circumcised? Oh yeah, let's cut the woman too.
Okay, so I'll come to, I know you want to react to what Dr. Yamu says, but let's quickly come to praise. Since it's not in the scripture, it's not scriptural. And according to her, man actually brought this law for their selfish reason. If a woman is not circumcised, is there any way she can still enjoy, in quotes, activities in the other room?
Okay, getting satisfaction will almost be impossible because the part that makes her satisfied has been taken away. She doesn't even see anything enjoyable about it. Sometimes she doesn't even want to go into it. How would you say a man calling his wife a lister generator? I need to start and start and start before you respond. So she wants to go out, or I'm sure it's the man. Sometimes she may not even know what has been done to her because this was done actually in her naivety. Maybe when she was young. And then she keeps asking herself, what has gone wrong? What is happening to me? Why can't I just feel what others feel? And you know, men would always want to be with the person who gives them pleasure. So if she's not giving him the pleasure, he starts thinking, are you sure she's not seeing somebody else? Are you sure this person wasn't cussed like local men in quotes? Are you sure this person, something is wrong somewhere? So, and the woman herself, she's not complete because she doesn't feel like a woman should. And this has actually done more harm to the woman than good.
Okay, let's come now to Violet. Let me say, I know you wanted to react to what Dr. Ojo said earlier on.
Yes, from what my doctor in the house said, you know, we see it, they see it as a man's word. Most of the laws, like he said, were promulgated by the men. Even our cultural norms, it was by the men. And that's why the theme for this year's female genital mutilation, zero tolerance, is apt. It's, I think it's the partnership with men and boys to transform social and gender norms to end female genital mutilation.
How do we now inculcate men and boys into this?
Yes, that's why we're through advocacy, through sensitization, to let them know that it is not fun for the woman at all to remove or to cut or to damage a sex organ. That is removal of the clitoris. Some that were removed partially, I'm sure even before such a woman gets an orgasm, in fact, it takes time. And she talks about oral sex. Even oral sex does not work.
In some cases.
Yes, in most cases.
In most cases.
But those whose clitoris have been removed, because
there's no sensation.
Where is the sensation coming from?
Dead and gone.
It's gone, you know. The clitoris is like the penis of the woman. and it has been cut off. It's like when you cut off the male organ now. Is it the same?
No, you're
thing?
not the way you're now pointing at me. I
So,
think you would have directed your hand to the camera.
Let me. So when
for
the
instance,
male organ, for instance,
okay,
is cut off, do you feel anything?
You
That means the
practically
man
don't
is
feel
not like
anything.
you know. That's the same thing that
happens
happens
to
to a
me.
woman when her clitoris is cut off. She hardly has any feelings. Even oral sex does not work. Nothing works.
But sex is a thing of the mind.
Yeah,
To an extent, it's a thing of the
But there are
mind.
tools needed for it
You know?
to come into play, even if it's a thing of the mind.
So without the clit, we
You know,
can still,
most times you
activities
have
can
to-
still go on.
It's just like
The
an
activities
exercise.
go on.
Yes, you have to
But
start
what
early.
you see is, even as a man, you're doing something to your wife. You are expecting her
just
to
there.
respond. You understand? Ordinarily, even the man goes off on praise. So when he's walking, so to say, he wants to hear that, yes, you are doing it good. You are giving it to me. You are doing that. And then the woman is not feeling anything. She can't respond. She can't tell you whether you are. And all these things, the more you try, it continues to.
But don't you think it's because of this generation? In the past, our parents, our forefathers, they don't really depend on the praise of the woman to do what he has to do.
What were they
Exactly.
actually concerned about?
Oh, well,
Is it the pleasure or procreation?
Exactly. Those are the
okay, wait, the way we are answering randomly. Okay, Dr. Ojo, you have the floor.
I beg to disagree.
Let's
The
hear your
reason why I beg to
disagreement.
disagree is you can't say that men in the olden days did it for procreation alone. See, these men, they married one wife, two wives, three wives. They had plenty children. It wasn't for procreation. It was for pleasure. However, I think although what we're doing now is guessing at what was their mindset at that time.
Okay.
But if we know that growing up, wives were married at a very early age, 12, 13, 15, 16.
Some in their teens.
Those ladies, they didn't know that they needed to feel pleasure.
As a girl.
Yes. So their own was they had to do what they had to do. So it wasn't important. But we are at an age of emancipation where girls don't even get married before they want to experiment because they hear it's pleasurable. So from the get-go, the females are getting in for the pleasure. So they now seek the pleasure, they don't find the pleasure. But in the olden days, they waited to be married. Even though they got married at an early age, they were taught that they were there for the pleasure of the men. And the men took the pleasure they want and they left. The female felt it was purely for procreation.
So in the past, men were selfish then?
Men are selfish. They are always selfish. They are still selfish.
Okay, I didn't want to shake this table this morning.
No, you've shaken it. It's done. The table is broken.
It's still having 3 legs. I'm very sure. So let's not just remove it. Okay, Pep Aslem, you have a different view from what she said.
Yeah, I'll say in those days, the men, they were actually doing this for procreation. I don't think it was about the pleasure, actually, because if it was about the pleasure, what happened then? Why is it not happening now? That, okay, if a man is married, haven't you heard of men complaining, my wife, she doesn't get satisfied, she's just there, she's this, she's that. Yes, we hear more of that now. But does it mean it wasn't happening then? And if it was, why were they not complaining?
I think this conversation now is getting interesting.
Yes.
I thought you were on the same page before.
No.
I was actually having concern when I saw that from the beginning. It's like we're all on the same page. But fine, I like your line of thought. So back then, procreation was the reason why it was
They
cut off.
had lots of hectares of land. They needed children to take care of the farm.
So it was okay to remove some of those vital organs.
For them then, yes, it was, because nobody could speak out. Nobody was there to cry out that this wasn't good for the girl child. But now we know that what they've been doing to us, it's not good.
Okay.
And that it's been causing so much harm to us than good, as they thought.
Okay.
Curbing the excesses of a girl child, supposedly to curb promiscuity, which is not even solving any problem.
Okay.
When she doesn't get it now, she wants to go to the next one. If she doesn't get it, she wants to go to the next one, and it continues.
Okay, the way I'm looking at your facial expression in your heart, you'd be like, I'll soon beat somebody's child.
No, not at all. I actually think she supports me.
No, not
Okay.
You
completely.
understand? I
Okay.
actually think she supports me.
Okay.
Because while she in the olden days, the men would have wanted to procreate, they needed children to farm their lands.
Yeah.
But they also took the pleasure. You understand? While they were procreating, they also had the pleasure. And the woman was not as emancipated then.
Okay.
Being that she was married at a young age. So for her, it was just procreation. She didn't know. But like I said, this is the age of emancipation. And the youngest are even getting involved in sex before they think about procreation.
Yeah.
You understand? So it's not about procreation anymore. It's the age of emancipation. We now know. So the man now also knows that the girl wants pleasure. And so he wants to try to give pleasure. But unfortunately, it's impossible now.
Okay, I grew up in the north, in the northern part of the country, where a man needs to get to adulthood before he will be circumcised.
Okay.
Yes, in the north, you get to adulthood before you get circumcised. What's the difference between male circumcision and female circumcision? Is there any thin line between these two? Let's come to Olumese.
Now, male circumcision, to me, is supposed to be compulsory. Have you grew up in the north, right?
Yes, I
And I have seen a man that is not circumcised and one that is circumcised. Because I also served in the north.
Okay.
When you see the difference, you know that circumcision of a man is key.
Very necessary.
Very necessary. It is so, you know, okay, we are being blunt here. It is so ugly
Okay.
and so unsightly when a man is not circumcised. But a woman is...
So it's not fine. It doesn't look
at
fine.
all. It's not fine at all. It's not fine at all. Honestly, it is not fine.
So it needs to be carved.
Yes. So the carving makes it better, makes it, you know, more enjoyable. Also for the men.
Okay, don't you think that was the thought of men of those days?
To have circumcised.
I'm still with Olumese. Yeah, I'm with you. You still have the floor.
So the thought of the men of those days not circumcising the men. No, it's not that the men will not still get pleasure, because definitely a man will always get pleasure, even at the sight of a woman. We were told recently that in the north they had to remove mannequin from the stores because some of the men will just come and be getting orgasm right there and then, watching a naked mannequin. So right now they don't sell
Which
mannequin.
part of the north now?
Let me say, it's Kano.
Okay.
They have removed them from the shops.
Oh, really?
The business has died down now because the men will just see, you know, like a breast, although it's not human.
Of
It's
course.
actually something.
So just a sight
Just the
of
sight.
something that looked like a female figure.
Yes, it was a law for the men to
That means this your gender, there have been serious problem to our genders then. This gender, you have been serious problem to us.
No, it's not the case. It's just that the men, they have, like she said, we are now emancipated. We now know that it is not a good thing for a woman to be circumcised, because first of all, it's not scriptural, and secondly, it destroys most of, let me say 99% of female sexual feelings. We are to, just like the men enjoy it, the women are also supposed to have that same pleasure.
Okay.
Instead of pretending, because most times those that are circumcised, they pretend a lot. Most women that are circumcised, they pretend a lot so that the man will not say, this is wood, the woman is just there, nothing is happening. So she forms most of the feelings. Oh, you are doing well. She's not getting anything. She just wants the man to
Just to get that praise. So no, the Ike, you are doing well.
Just do your own and get up. And then the man will feel that, I've satisfied my wife today. Meanwhile, the wife got nothing
Oh, really?
from it.
All right,
Yes.
just to let you know that you can be part of this discourse this beautiful morning. All you need to do is to send a text message to the number displayed on your screen right now, 080-77770300. That's the number to call, or you can send a text message to the same number. And don't forget, you can also join us via our WhatsApp page. Like our Twitter handle, like us we are on Instagram, and of course follow us on Facebook. Then ensure you download the ITV app. You can follow us on all our socials on ITV Radio NG. and ensure you download the app on your device so that you can just be part of this conversation on the go. The phone number again is displayed on your screen. For benefit of doubt, is 080-7777-03 and 00. Of course, we're already having reaction, but let me come to Dr. Ojo before we start taking our calls. Now, can orgasm be faked? Is it possible to fake? I don't understand.
Forward. Oh my God.
It's like these two people.
Orgasm is faked all the time.
Thank you.
I thought you are in a different school. This high five now is confusing my confusion.
Yes.
Am I not supposed to get a high five too?
No. You are the gender that cut off.
So, Dr. Ojo, can orgasm be faked?
Orgasm is faked every single day in almost all households.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
In almost all households. You see, we are brought up with the idea, females generally, particularly females in the African region. We are brought up to know that, well, you have to treat your husband like a king. You understand? You have to honor him. You have to praise him. If you don't praise him. So even in the act of sex, see, we are feeders. And by virtue of being feeders, we get to hear a lot of women. We get to talk to a lot of persons. We do counseling a lot. And orgasm is faked every time because you have to praise the man. Otherwise, you have to massage his ego. It's a necessity.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yes.
But why do we have to fake orgasm where you are supposed to enjoy this thing? Let's come to Aslan.
It has to be faked to be yourself one, and like she said, to massage the ego of the man. Being in an exercise for long and then you're not feeling anything, and then something that's supposed to give you pleasure is coming with so much pain. You just have to fake it. Okay, you've done well, and then on your own, let me rest since I'm not getting anything.
So is that not deceit? I should sue
It
them
is,
to court.
but it's not our fault.
Besides, for some men, until they hear the praise, they won't come and they won't let you go.
Yes, and
so
then you tend to feel the pain.
The monotone is there, and you know that until he gets that praise, you give him the praise so that he can climb down.
Yes. So that you will be free also.
And be free.
So don't you think it's just like depressing yourself to impress somebody?
No. Sometimes, see, for women who have been circumcised, you get to the stage where you realize that this is what it is,
and you just
let go. It is those that do not let go of the search for pleasure that actually get promiscuous. But when you realize that this is the situation and you let go of seeking the pleasure, you just let go. Your own is, let me satisfy this man at least so he can go. So when you satisfy him, he stops, you continue your life. Maybe you now derive pleasure from reading. Okay. So when he comes down, you can pick your phone and read. Or you can do some other things. There are different ways to get pleasure.
Okay, let's quickly hear from this caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
I'm speaking from Delta State.
What's your name?
I'm Abia Daniel.
All right, quickly talk to us. Share your thoughts quickly.
Well, your topic is very, very interesting and I'm enjoying it.
Thank you.
And the question I want to ask is that if a lady is not exercised and she got married, and if the man is also interested in sex, what of if the woman now shows interest, that interest in that thing, and she has left the husband for another person? What happens?
Okay, I'm sure you got his question.
Yes, please could you?
When the woman is not having what she wants and now leaves the husband for another person, what happens?
Because she's not circumcised.
It's not because she's circumcised. That's what it's saying.
Because she's circumcised.
So, like that's what.
And she's not really getting what she wants in the marriage.
You can see the mindset the man already has. He feels that because she's circumcised, she can be promiscuous. It doesn't follow. Circumcision does not. No circumcision does not make a woman promiscuous. It's a mindset. The fact that you are not circumcised does not mean that you are going to be sleeping around. If the man does not know what to do or how to pleasure, that's where communication comes in.
So circumcision or no circumcision, it doesn't change anything.
It doesn't
Not at
change
all.
anything.
So a promiscuous woman will be
always be,
promiscuous. It is it is irrelevant whether she is promiscuous or whether she is circumcised or not. The one that will stay will stay. The one that will not stay will not stay.
Okay.
But as a man, if you have you support the cutting off of the clitoris, you have actually created a situation where you can't satisfy her. Nothing you do will satisfy her. So you are making her actually think about, maybe it's because you don't know what to do.
Okay, now, Pep Aslam, for those that have already found themselves in this dilemma or in this kind of case, as it were, should they just manage it like that? Is it possible?
They should. I think finding other means to get this pleasure, aside being promiscuous, would help.
Finding other means.
Yes, in quotes, not going after other men
Okay.
would help, because they just have to live with it. But the first key to this is knowing if you were circumcised or not. Now, how do you even know if you were not told? And how do you even know if it was done in a state of naivety when you were not aware of what was done to you? But if maybe for some reasons you got to find out that yes, you were circumcised, you just have to live with it.
Okay.
And then let your husband know that this is what it is. Not because you're not doing well, but because this is the state I have found myself. So she just needs to help herself out, find something else that could give her pleasure, and then she goes with it.
But Barrister Olumide said, don't you think if they find a way to give themselves that pleasure, it won't cause any problem, and the man will not now look like he's not really doing well for himself?
The man will hardly know that she's finding pleasure from something else. I'm not saying a woman should
Go out.
after other men. No, I know some women, they use this dildo. I don't know what they call it. Some they use it. You know, some use it, and then you can read romantic books. At least
it helps to boost.
Yeah, it helps to boost the woman's, especially the woman that is circumcised. It helps to build her feelings.
Okay.
At least, maybe reading the books.
So for those of them who didn't go to school, who does not know how to read and write,
Yes, such person will just have to think positively about sex. And like you said, most times they have to fake the orgasm. And
so Dr. Yam, we have a different view.
Okay, I think I do not agree that toys
Should be, yes.
would give that pleasure. The reason I don't believe that toys will give that pleasure is because if the organ, the sensory organ is cut
Shouldn't
off,
use that.
there's no way the sensory organ is not there. So even using the toys do not help. But I think they just need to make peace with themselves. When I talked about looking for alternative means of pleasure, I wasn't talking about toys or stuff like that. I just meant make peace with that. But like for me, reading is a form of relaxation for me. You understand? For some others, watching movies is a form of relaxation. Not to get the pleasure derivable from sex.
Okay.
But there are different pleasure points in life. It needs not be a focus on that. But I think there's one thing that a woman that was circumcised and knows the pains of circumcision must do.
So what's that thing?
And that thing is to ensure that you have zero tolerance for FGM and circumcision. You have to ensure that no female child in your cognition is ever circumcised. You have to ensure that no female child of yours, of your neighbor, of your friend, of your church members is circumcised. You have a duty to sensitize.
So while you
people.
take it as your faith,
Yes.
you ensure you defend it.
Exactly.
Because you're already circumcised, there's nothing you can do about it.
So if the sensory organs are no longer there, even if you use toys, the most you can do, you can get a little pleasure after a long time. Just like we were talking earlier when you said for a lady that was circumcised to feel any pleasure, it has to be like for after 3 to 4 hours.
Absolutely.
And who does that? So even for a female to sit down with a toy and say she wants to give herself pleasure, you are still talking about that 3 to 4 hours. Who does that? We are busy.
We are busy. They are busy. Let's hear from this caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, Alice.
Yeah, quickly tell us your name and where you're calling from. Okay.
I'm impressed by the analysis of this very important matter.
Okay, thank you.
I want to quickly chip you one thing about the big orgasm. It is not true that all women take orgasm just to let the man feel they are enjoying the mood. You know, in the days of our fathers, there are situations where a woman has big orgasm when she has been drawn to exhaustion. When some men take a woman to the other room and train her to break it, when she's not exhausted, she wants to tell the man she's now okay and satisfied. He does that. And then what do we think about today when some women are considered like society need to very selfish? A man has an erection, you take your woman to the bedroom there. You are already erected, I don't know that you take any alcohol. Then you bound for your woman like civil war without kind of foreplay. One word I never seen of you yesterday, the word of foreplay. I dare any woman to try. There is no woman, whether you are concerned, you are not, and whether your motivation are discreet or completely, that will take a rosa of foreplay and then we will not have an orgasm.
Okay.
It's not possible. It's not the matter that for me, I just selfish. They just come in there all of a sudden, enter their like civil war, and in 5 minutes you are gone. And the implication is this. If that same woman could have another issue that is needs more, before a man say they are presumed man and wife, they can do and want to be satisfied. It is not true. You are very selfish. Give your wife a much more properly before you enter her. She'll be exhausted before you finish. She's already sleeping. That's just the truth of the matter.
Okay.
And that's my submission.
Thank you. Your submission is well noted, but just know that whatever opinion our guests are sharing on this show is their personal opinion and must be respected. You have something to say?
Actually, I want to commend that caller.
Okay.
Yes, sometimes when you are talking, you can have an over-exaggeration.
Absolutely.
So, yes, we have women that are circumcised and we have women that are uncircumcised. So for those women that are uncircumcised, obviously they would not need to fake orgasm.
Okay.
You understand? But for those women that are circumcised, a lot of them have to fake orgasm. And yes, he made a very insightful comment. Yes. A lot of men are the ones that do slam, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. There's no foreplay.
You need to break this one down.
No, just slam, wham, bang, as in, I want it, I get it, and I'm done. So what they do is exactly what he says. And I think this is where we need to partner with men. Please, men, teach your brothers, teach your colleagues, your partners, teach them that it's not enough to seek to pleasure yourself alone. Now, if we say a majority of women were circumcised, you now realize that it means that they don't get pleasure. At least they don't get pleasure easily. So you need to do some work before you can pleasure your partner. So, now, foreplay plays a very big role. And he has spoken very well. Okay,
Pep Praise, you agree with her, and of course, do you think we should have enough, a lot of sexual education?
Yes, we should, because actually there are some men, like she said, and like the caller said, they are not interested in the pleasure of their partner. They just want to pounce on her, do what they want to do, and then go. They don't care what you get afterwards. Well, how busy can you be to the point that you just want to get your own pleasure?
For any man here.
I know. You just want to get your own pleasure. What happens to the foreplay? Okay. It's just supposed to be a toy. Why can't you play with her? Why not put her in the mood? Sometimes you just come from the office, okay, I just want to do this, you do what you want to do, and then you are gone. And the woman is there, almost depressed. She's there thinking, what kind of a life is this? And you don't care about what happens afterwards because all you've wanted, you got.
So, Barrister Olumese, when a man is busy, a woman is busy. Everybody is busy chasing money to ensure that the family is okay. Would they have time for all this child's play? Sorry. foreplay?
Okay, you have turned it to child's play,
I'm
right?
telling it to you. It's on a lighter mode.
I know you are joking. You know, the foreplay is really key, honestly. I was tripped when I heard that man talking. You know, when you know that you are, because a man is easy to get erection.
You say that times
you know
without
that
number.
it's true.
Just with saying something.
Very easy.
You are moved by sight.
It's like the 5th time you are saying
Very
that. So it's easy for a man to just kick.
Yes, very easy.
I've seen some now, when we are on the queue, you see some men getting so close, the next thing out.
Just messing.
So just for, that one is the other side. Then, a man that knows that, I have a wife at home,
And
no
he's
matter how busy you are, take a phone, send a sexy message. Tonight is the night. You know, you start preparing the woman to know that something is going to happen. No, something will happen.
Put her in the mood.
Put her in the mood. Then later, your sister, I'll soon be home. The woman is getting ready. My husband is coming. He said there's something to do. Not that you just come and the next thing you want sex. The woman needs to be prepared. Her mind has to be on sex.
You need to talk her into it.
Yes, you talk her into it. You play her into it. That's the foreplay. Before the actual foreplay, because some men within 5 minutes they have already released. A man should try and hold his own emotions.
Can I add something to that?
Well, the way we are just bantering over this discussion, it's interesting. All right, let's get to your quickly.
Like she said, sex actually has to be first pictured in the mind.
Okay.
Fine, you are busy, you are away, the man is busy. You can start with your text messages. You're already making love without you knowing.
Really?
With your text message, your mind, women were moved by what we hear.
Yes.
It keeps resounding. Even when you are going about your daily activities, the message keeps resounding. If it was a call, the voice keeps resounding. And then when you come, it makes it easier because she's prepared.
Yes.
Somebody will just come, I want to chop, or I want chop. And you're thinking it's the normal kind of, we say, no, not that one, I want chop. And you're like, okay, chop. What kind of chop? And it just comes, do whatever, and it's done. So no matter how busy you are, sex is first prepared in the mind. You just picture it, and then before you go into the real act.
Because this kind of this line now, Dr. Yam will have something to say.
Yes,
I wanted to ask the next question.
Okay, I read this book some time ago. It captivated me when I saw the title. It says sex begins in the kitchen. I can't remember the author now, whether it's a Tim LaHaye or something like that, but it started with or Larry something. Sex begins in the kitchen. And when I was wondering what kind of book is this, and I started to read it, and I realized that it just talked about the psychology of the bedroom. Most times our men come back from work. Sometimes they come back earlier. I even had to cancel couples on that. They come back from work earlier, and they're at home, and you see them sitting in the sitting room, flipping channels, pump, pump, and then the woman is coming from the work. As she's coming from work, she stops in the market. She buys stuff. She's dragging those things, and she's coming home. And as she's getting home, she opens the door. My husband, well done, sir, or good evening, sir. And then she enters the kitchen. She has not sat down. She enters the kitchen. She's cooking. And as she's cooking, when she's done cooking, she brings the food, serve you in the sitting room there. You eat. You don't take away the dishes. She comes back and picks the dishes. She goes to wash. She's managing the children. And then at the end of the day, she goes to bed. She's barely in bed. Meanwhile, you have been in bed. She's barely in bed, and you are coming like this to touch her. Like when I was in law school, I was in law school in 2006, 2007. And while I was in the hostel, one day, a lady dragged her bag. Like she was our friend. She was staying in Abuja. So she goes home every day. And then she came back from one morning. Class was starting, and she was dragging in a luggage, coming to stay with somebody. What's the problem? She was, the man is a witch. Is this? Is that? What happened? What happened? She closed from school by 4 o'clock. Before she got back home, 5 o'clock. She picked the children, 2 children from school. She got home. She was taking care of the children, cooking. The man came back in. She prepared food, and then she started to wash clothes, do some chores. She washed clothes till 1 a.m. And then she laid down on the bed. She had a bath. Immediately she got on the bed. The next thing she felt the man touching her. Immediately she jumped up. You are a witch. You are a devil. God punish you. You want to kill me? I've been working since. You didn't do it. At the end of the day, she got up that same moment. As she got up, she packed her things and left the house. She said she was moving to school because she couldn't take it. What happened to coming, meeting your wife in the kitchen and say, honey, let me join you to wash these dishes. And as you are washing the dishes, you are knocking her like this. And you are saying, hi, sweetie, you look so beautiful. As you are doing all that, she's already feeling the vibes.
What will happen?
You understand? She's all, in fact, the fact that you helped her, she wants to reward you. So by the time you get to bed, you might even find that she will be the initiator.
Well, I have romantic experts here. Good in advice here. Single men like us that are planning to look for a suitor. I think after this discussion, we may not have problem in our relationship. Now, consent. When someone didn't give her consent for her to be circumcised, can she sue her parents for that?
Yes, of course. Of course, that's why we have laws on it. We have a law was passed. One law on female circumcision and genital mutilation was passed firstly 1999, and it's an offense, and it's prohibited to circumcise a woman or to mutilate her sexual organ, and it's an offense when you do so. Okay. Whether you willingly, whether the female herself, like some other states that the women are already grown.
Like it's a ritual.
They really give themselves over. You also have committed an offense. Yes.
To give yourself is an offense.
To give yourself to circumcision. Okay, I want them to circumcise me. You also have committed an offense because it's already a law. And under the VAB law, that offense carries penalty of 4 years imprisonment. That's section 11 of the VAB, Violence Against Person Prohibition law that was amended 2021. Okay. This is the law. Carries 4 years imprisonment or 500,000 fine, or to both, as the court may
either an option of $500,000, or you pay the $500,000 and still go.
Or pay the $500,000 and still go to jail.
Okay, but we live in a society, we live in a country where people don't take law seriously. Even when it's been passed, people still feel like it's nothing. We've not seen anybody being arrested. We've not seen anybody being prosecuted.
Yeah, so someone has actually been.
Okay, let's give it to Dr. Oyam.
Okay, I do not know whether anybody has been arrested or prosecuted for it. But while she was talking, I think it's a very difficult thing for a female to come up years later in life to say, I want to arrest my parents for circumcising me, because most times the female doesn't really know she was circumcised, particularly if you were brought up in a conventional society, family where you are protected. You don't go checking other people's genitals to see that your own is different. For instance, I have never seen another female's genitals. In any case, the female genitalia is hidden, unlike it's enclosed, unlike the one of the male. So before you can actually see what another female's genital looks like you are outrightly putting it up, as in opening the legs to see. I do not know what another person's genitals look like. You understand? So it's difficult for you as a female to really know that yes, you were circumcised. You don't know what happened to you as an infant. But when you get to the age of maturity and you realize that, yes, I was circumcised, you've grown up with these people, they've loved you, they've taken care of you, they've done everything for you. To come back and say you want to sue them is actually it might be a physical impossibility. Okay. However, at this point, and with my cognition, if I know that there is one person somewhere that has a child and wants to circumcise that child, I will get them arrested. Okay. And I will ensure that they are prosecuted. Okay. You understand?
As part of your civic right.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Let's hear from this person. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, quickly tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Okay, I'm coming from Benin, Oluku, Benin.
Okay, quickly go ahead and talk to us.
Yes, what I I wanted to ask is concerning the female circumcision. Does it prohibit them when they are giving birth? Because I heard that sometimes when they are giving birth to that, their might stop the coming from their genital.
Okay, so he's asking if it affects childbearing. Aslam, you want to react to that?
Yeah, to some extent it does. It does. Because it can lead to hemorrhage and even the death of the child. Because the normal function of the genitals has been disrupted. The laceration of the genitals causes lots of differences that would have been normal for the woman. And then it tends to cause pains when she wants to give birth. And sometimes infertility, it could. So it's actually, yes. Yes.
Well, I'm not a medical personnel.
Yes, and for the prosecution, I think Khalid was one of the first person, or the only person for now, that was prosecuted for.
Pep, let's hear from this person. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, you're live on air. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yes, my name is Prince Mado Jembo. I'm calling in respect of,
Prince, where are you calling from? What's your location? Well, if you're not ready to give us your location, I'm afraid we need to let you go. Sorry, you have the floor.
Yeah,
okay.
Like I was talking about the prosecution, I think Khalid Adam in 2006 was actually prosecuted for circumcising his daughter.
Okay.
Yes.
In
So,
Nigeria?
No, not in Nigeria. But after then, I don't think we've had records of any other person being prosecuted for this.
Okay, so let me see, how can this be controlled? Female circumcision, FGM, how can we control it?
Well, I think we should continue sensitization and advocacy and enlightenment. Let them know that it is not a good thing for the woman. It doesn't help us. It doesn't help a woman. It's not ideal. If peradventure we keep telling them and we keep, reiterating that it is wrong, it's an offense. It's an offense punishable by law, either with terms of imprisonment or with the option of fine, or without a fine. Such persons, I'm sure, they will key into it and gradually phase it out. But I believe is gradually coming down, because when this law was passed 1999, I'm sure since then we've had series of advocacy and several persons, they have stopped it. I know that my younger ones, their children, they are not circumcised.
Okay.
The female, they are not circumcised. And most persons I know in my environment, they are not circumcised, the females. So I'm sure the awareness is getting to them and they are seeing the need not to circumcise.
I would have asked if any of you have first-hand experience about this talking point. I wouldn't know.
If
any of you have first-hand experience, you were circumcised at any point.
I was circumcised.
Most of us, we are talking from experience now.
And you still find your way around it.
She has to.
You don't have a choice. It's your... You don't have a choice about it.
Okay, so Dr. Iyamo, we've talked about some of the effects and the impact on the girl child. So how can we start educating them now?
Okay, so I think we need to do more about of what we are doing now. However, I think the main culprits, sometimes the main culprit is usually the mothers-in-laws. You understand? Sometimes the men do not even know when their girl child is circumcised. The mother-in-law just comes and takes the baby, and then even when the woman is saying no, no, no. So now we are talking. I'm very glad that a lot of men have been calling in. They've been listening to us. It's time for them to take a stand to ensure that their girl children don't get circumcised. So if you have a girl child, warn your mother not to come and steal your child to go have that child circumcised. Okay. And the nurses out there that do the circumcision, we need to tell them, please stop. Because just like she talked about Section 11 of the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Law, criminalizing the female genital mutilation, not only does it criminalize it in terms of the offender, but whoever incites another person,
aids,
abets.
Yes.
So if as a mother-in-law you say yes, you have to do it, you are the one, you are a criminal, and the law says for aiding and abetting, you'll be liable to 2 years imprisonment or a fine of 300,000 naira or both. So you too. Then for somebody who knows that someone committed the offense and hides that person, not for the purpose of bringing the person out to be arrested, just hides it so that, okay, so they will not know. Yes. That person too is an accessory after the fact, and that person is liable to the main liability, 4 years. No, accessory after the act is 4 years and 500,000 naira.
Okay, just know that if you are living in my neighborhood, I'm an official whistleblower right now. There's no place to hide. Let's take more reactions as we progress on the program. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, brother.
Yeah, good morning. Tell us your name and where you calling from.
I'm coming from Upper.
What's your name?
My name is Apostle Paul.
Okay, Apostle Paul, just kindly walk away from your television set, please.
Okay.
Walk away from your television set.
Okay. Hello.
All right, yeah, go ahead and talk to us.
What I want to say, I have two things to just say. In our olden days, when we do this circumcision, I don't think all what the doctors are speaking, it happened those days. We have a lot of children. We have a lot of enjoyment in having sex.
Oh, okay,
And again, my second point,
is this one?
you know, the Bible said men to be circumcised. Anything Bible, men and women they are mentioned together.
Okay,
Once
so
you mention men, it goes with men and women.
So Apostle, you are saying women should be circumcised too?
Very well.
Okay.
So that's my
Well, I just think you just have one person you might be going after.
Yes,
after this
we are going after him.
But however, just to let you know, Apostle, they are not medical doctors, all right? Barrister Olumese and of course Dr. Ojo, they are legal practitioner and representative of FIDA, while Pep Praise Anselm is a civil activist. So they may be talking like medical doctors, but they aren't. I don't know if you're medical doctors.
Yes.
No, we are not.
I want to keep it double sure. Let's still listen to what this person have to say. Hello, good morning. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. My name is Professor Don.
Okay, where are you calling us from, Prof?
Now, the issue here...
Where are you calling from? Where are you calling from?
Okay, I'm calling from Delta State.
All right, which part of Delta State?
That place.
All right, go ahead and talk to us.
Now, the issue being discussed here is about female circumcision.
Yes.
Now, the ladies there that are sentimental, they are not going straight to the point. What concerns circumcision with a lady doing a household job, packing her load, even her husband, when she knows it's her duty to satisfy her husband? So what has that got to do with circumcision?
Okay.
What they are portraying here, they are encouraging women not to oblige to what they are supposed to do as a wife in the house.
Okay.
When the woman is married to the house, her first duty call is to build her home. Not to complain, not to, how will I put it? What they are saying there, if a woman comes home for work and the man not going to work,
Okay.
going to work.
Well, Prof, we don't have luxury of time. From his submission is of a different view. Women are meant to produce, from what he just said. They are meant to collect.
We
They are meant to
actually
produce.
feel for, actually at this point, we feel for his wife.
Yes.
Okay.
We sympathize with his
Women
wife.
are supposed to be helpmates, not
We are supposed to be helpmates.
Not
We are not
slaves.
supposed to be slaves. When you marry a woman, you don't buy a slave.
Okay.
It is not slave trade. You said the man goes to work. The man just came for work. The woman too is coming from work. She's coming from work. She's stopping in the market. She's coming from work. She's buying things. She's coming. She's getting the kids. This type of men, I'm sorry to say, they will even not help with the children. they will say it's the woman's job. So the woman will slave and die. That's why some of these men, the wives will die young, and then when they die, less than they remarry another 18-year-old girl. Before less than 3 months, they will remarry.
And if a woman does that, it becomes a taboo.
Yes.
Okay, all right, now let's continue.
We never advocated that women should not give intimacy or sex to their husbands. What we were advocating was, we were saying, men, please try to assist your wives so that you build that relationship. You understand the intimacy, the feeling that will make your wife even want to please you in bed and not take it as a duty. That was what we advocated.
So I think that point is crystal clear. Hello, good morning. Yeah, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from? Hello, are you there?
I'm there. This is Christopher calling from Ubowo.
Okay, Christopher from Ubowo. Okay.
I want to make some points.
Quickly.
It should be discussed about this genital circumcision.
Okay.
First of all, I think that the practice of criminalizing such an act is the wrong practice to take in the first place.
Okay.
The first thing you want to do is to sensitize the public or the general public about the health hazards of the female genital circumcision.
Okay.
Before you choose to condemn the practice, maybe a religious practice or a cultural practice, you might want to understand the reason why that practice is in place for the first place. And then there should be a scientific study to determine if that particular practice really does affect people's health.
Okay.
Now, if you copy the nature, the behaviors of the Western world, you want to also go ahead and copy their bad part too. What I'm saying, the part where it says that if a person goes to do genital circumcision by themselves, they will be criminalized, like punished and jailed.
Okay, so I think I'll let you go because we don't have time. He's of the opinion that he's not really in support of your advocacy. Let's hear from you.
Advocacy are saying,
trying to sensitize women. He said you should know why these laws are put in place before you condemn it.
You know, the laws, like from what I can gather what he said, he's saying that the laws were not necessary. They would have just been doing sensitization, advocacy on why females should be circumcised. But the laws are already in place and will work by the law. It's something that has been passed, it has been gazetted, it's in the public purview. So it's not something that we cannot say, oh, the laws are no longer necessary. And what some of them feel, I don't understand why a man will say, oh, why is the law in place? It's for the benefit of the women. We are the ones bearing the shoes, and we know where it's pinching us.
Absolutely. Okay, so Dr. Yamu, you are the disciplinary committee, the secretary of the disciplinary committee. Do we have a contact, a phone number that we can reach you in case we have persons that might want to reach out to FIDA for support?
080.
Okay, you're giving that too.
080 32 68 72 89.
All right, please take the phone number again so that our viewers can get it.
080 32 68 72 89.
Okay. We'll as we're wrapping up, we'll quickly display that on the screen, probably so that we can get it. Now let's come to per praise. It seems that women are not calling in on this program. Is it that they are not watching? Well, I'm very sure they are. And why are they not lending their voices to this discussion?
Same pain we've been crying out for. Some of them, they don't just want to know this is happening already. They just want to live with it. But I think some of the way out of this problems we find ourselves in is we have to inculcate this topic into the school curriculum. Let the girl child know from when she's an infant that she has the right to say no, that her body is her body. Let her know she has the right to say no. And then the places of influence like the churches, the schools, they have a lot to do in salvaging this situation. The churches, they should let us know that this female circumcision is a no. I heard what the bishop said, that since the Bible says men, and we know generally men includes women, that's not true. That's not true.
So every member of his congregation should submit.
Yes, yes. The churches should tell the children and let even the parents know that this is wrong. Okay. And it's a mayhem on the female child.
We never can tell. Maybe one female is listening and she wants to learn her voice. Let's just take a few more calls and I'll come back to you guys in the studio. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
All right, I'm very sure we're having our first female caller. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Omenekele Samuel.
Where are you calling us from?
From Todari.
All right, go ahead and talk to us again, Karen.
Okay, sir. Please, I want to ask my...
Oh, well, we lost that call there. She wanted to ask a question. It's unfortunate you're... Hello, good morning. You need to walk away from your television set. I have some text messages here. Let me see if I can just take some as we begin to wrap up. Let's see. I've got this one. And it says, I'm a nurse Lizzie. Apart from no sexual pleasure, it makes a woman prone to bleeding and unnecessary tear of the private part during labor. You actually say that.
Yeah.
Maybe you're a doctor. That was why that man referred to all of you here as medical doctors. I have this other one. Okay, this person just added her name. She said, laugh very true, my doctor. Good morning. Thanks. This is coming from Miss Moscow. All right, thank you, Miss Moscow. Though you just laughed and actually shared your view. All right, let's quickly take a few more calls. Then we'll wrap up right now. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, you are going to be my last caller on the show. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Faith calling from Kenya.
All right, quick, talk to us.
Thank you very much. Like the last 2 years, Judge God saying that God said man should circumcise in the Bible, including woman. God did not ask Sarah to circumcise.
Okay.
Rather, Abraham and Isaac and other men to circumcise.
Okay.
I am very, very glad regarding this important discussion you brought up.
Thank you.
Because there are so many women don't have pleasure again. The men are just greedy.
Are you a man? It's a woman.
And
Okay. Okay.
the young ones just yes. They're very bad.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
All right, thank you so much. She's pained.
Yeah.
She's pained. I can feel your pain. That man has taken the whole pleasure.
And we are left with nothing.
And we are very sorry. We want to enjoy your own. We want to have, it's a vice versa. So let's start wrapping up now, quickly. 20 seconds. Dr. Barrister Olumese, your final take on the show. Quickly.
Yes, Fida Edo, you are saying no to female genital mutilation. And anyone that wants to continue to perpetrate this act should report it to us.
Okay.
And we're ready to take it up. And we have the law backing us.
And you're going to give them legal services free?
What we do is free of charge.
Okay.
Don't pay a dime. We help you out and we'll do the needful, even as including going to court.
All right, Dr. Ojo, quickly. So you also add that phone number again.
Yes, so we are saying zero tolerance for female genital mutilation.
Okay.
We are saying we need our male as partners to help us in the fight against it.
Okay.
As we have discussed today, you have realized that it is not in the interest of men too to have women circumcised.
Okay.
It doesn't favor any of us. So please, the number to call is 080-3268-7289.
All right,
Thank you.
Aslan.
Yeah. Here you are a female and you have the right to say no to any form of circumcision or mutilation in quotes. Your body is your body. And if need be, cry out. I'm sure somebody's out there listening to you. Just cry out and you'll find the help you want.
Okay. Thank you so much, ladies. We'll quickly take a short break now.